You know where wages are stagnant? On people who are stagnant. You're only got stagnant wages if you decide to stay there and keep getting those wages. This is not Russia. You can quit. I don't like how much Walmart pays. I don't like how much McDonald's pays. So don't work there, stupid. Go to work for somebody else. I don't like how my company treats me. So leave. Go be somebody. There's no reason that you have to be stuck somewhere because some liberal journalist said you were stuck. You're not stuck. You're stagnant. Don't be stagnant. You know what stagnant pond water does? It grows scum on top. You don't want to be stagnant. You get scummy. You need to go be somebody. You need to leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. You need to decide that my life is not good enough the way it is, and so I am going to control the controllables. I am going to change some things. Because guess what? Nobody in Washington is going to fix your life. Santa Claus doesn't live there, baby. Have you noticed that the Democrats and the Republicans, neither one could freaking add? Have you ever had any of them send you money?
What if I told you that when it comes to your money, your opinion is worthless? That your intelligent, well-researched, and passionately held beliefs about finance might be the very things keeping you broke? There is a war going on. It's a war between the commentators and the players. The common enemy isn't debt or low income. It's the endless, deafening noise from broke critics, basement bloggers, and financial experts who have never built a dime of wealth in their lives. They create confusion to make themselves feel smart. And in the middle of it all is a single, controversial, unapologetic truth that Dave Ramsey has been screaming for 30 years. It's the truth that makes the smart people furious, and it's the truth that broke people simply can't handle. Today, we're diving straight into the fire. We're going to expose the 3 most controversial ideas from his most brutal rants. First, why your opinion doesn't matter. Second, the only metric that separates the winners from the losers. And third, the one truth about your situation you've been refusing to accept. This is the red pill. If you're ready to stop arguing and start winning, then you're in the right place. Number 1, your opinion doesn't matter. Results do.
Now, the stuff we teach here, and have for almost 30 years, is proven. It's no longer an opinion. It's not a theory. I don't agree with Dave Ramsey's advice, which would make you wrong. And I know you're writing a blog from your mother's basement and you're looking for clickbait using my name. I understand that, but you're wrong.
Let's start with the one that makes everyone angry. When it comes to building wealth, your opinion does not matter. Dave's most controversial stance is this. His advice is not a theory up for debate. It's a proven formula. He's not interested in your opinion on whether the debt snowball is mathematically optimal. He is only interested in the results of the millions who have used it to become debt-free. In the world of money, you are not graded on how smart your theory is. You are graded on the number in your bank account. Disagreeing with the plan doesn't make you an intellectual, it makes you wrong. It's like arguing with gravity. You can have a brilliant, well-researched opinion that gravity shouldn't apply to you. You can write a blog post about it. You can call Isaac Newton stupid. But if you step off the roof of a 10-story building, your opinion is not going to save you. Gravity is a law. Dave argues that the principles of building wealth, living on less than you make, getting out of debt are financial laws. You can either follow them or get broken by them. Think of a guy like Jason. He works in IT. He's brilliant. He's read every financial book and loves to poke holes in Dave's advice. He tells anyone who will listen his investment assumptions are too aggressive, or you should never pay off a low-interest car loan early. He feels intellectually superior. His coworker, Gary, is a simple mechanic who just listens to the radio show. Gary doesn't know what the S&P 500 did last year. He just started his debt snowball. A year later, Jason is still optimizing his strategy in a spreadsheet. Gary just paid off his truck. Jason's opinion didn't change his net worth. Gary's simple action did. You have to make a choice. You can be right in your own head, or you can be rich in the real world. Number 2, action is the only metric.
Doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure this out. You know what the problem on your investments are? The problem with your investments is not your rate of return. It's not your expense ratio. It's not no load versus load. It's not your nerdy, twisted up, toxic butt opinion about some investment. Your problem with your investments is you don't have any. That's the problem with your investments.
Broke people are addicted to collecting information. They mistake learning for doing. They'll spend an entire weekend watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, and reading articles about how to build wealth. Each time they save a video or bookmark an article, they get a little hit of dopamine. It feels like progress. It feels like an accomplishment. But it's counterfeit progress. It's not real. It's intellectual entertainment. You're consuming content like it's a Netflix series. Wealthy people, on the other hand, might know 80% less, but they execute relentlessly on the 20% they do know. The Grand Canyon-sized gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it is the valley where financial dreams go to die. It's a trap called analysis paralysis, and it's a comfortable prison because it feels safe. Research has no risk. Action does. It's like the guy who decides he wants to get in shape. Let's call him the fitness professor. He buys 100 books on nutrition and exercise. His bookshelves are lined with perfectly highlighted manuals on kinesiology. He owns pristine workout gear he's never sweated in. He can tell you the precise biomechanics of a deadlift and the optimal protein-to-carb ratio for muscle growth. He is an encyclopedia of fitness. Then there's the awkward jogger. He knows nothing. He's got a pair of old running shoes and a cotton t-shirt. His form is terrible. He gets winded after half a mile. But every single day, he puts on those shoes and gets out the door. In a year, the fitness professor will be in the exact same shape, but with a few more books on his shelf. The awkward jogger will have run a 10K. You cannot research your way into shape, and you cannot research your way to wealth. You have to act your way there. Take a marketing manager named Maria. She is paralyzed by the pursuit of the perfect financial plan. Her entire life is a whirlwind of inaction. On Monday, she's in a Facebook group arguing about the merits of VOO versus VTI. On Wednesday, she's building a complex budget spreadsheet with 12 different tabs that she'll never actually use. On Friday, she's watching a YouTube video titled, "Is the 4% Rule Dead?" She feels busy. She feels smart. Her sister Chloe is a nurse who works long shifts and is exhausted. Chloe knows almost nothing about the stock market. 5 years ago, after hearing a simple piece of advice, she walked into her HR office on her lunch break. She filled out a single one-page form to automatically contribute $100 a month to the company's simple 401 Caply plan. The whole thing took 10 minutes. She hasn't thought about it since. Today, Maria's collection of perfect plans, brilliant spreadsheets, and well-researched opinions is still worth exactly 0. Chloe's simple, dumb, imperfect action has effortlessly grown to over 8,000. Last week, Chloe mentioned her balance in passing, and Maria felt a physical gut punch of regret. 5 years of her life wasted in the name of getting ready. You have to stop trying to win the argument in the comments section and start trying to win the game with your bank account. Number 3, you are not a victim.
You know what stagnant pond water does? It grows scum on top. You don't want to be stagnant. You get scummy. You need to go be somebody. You need to leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. You need to decide that my life is not good enough the way it is, and so I am going to control the controllables. I am going to change some things.
Of course, here is the expanded, more detailed version of the final talking point. The quality and core message have been preserved while amplifying the emotional impact and depth of the concept. This is the final, most brutal truth. This is the one that broke people absolutely cannot handle, because it removes every last one of their excuses. You are not stuck. You are not a victim. You are a volunteer. It is the most comforting lie in the world to believe that your situation is the fault of someone else. Your boss is greedy. Your wages are stagnant. The government is corrupt. The system is rigged. These beliefs are a warm blanket on a cold night. They feel good because if it's their fault, then you're off the hook. You don't have to face the terror of trying and possibly failing. You can't lose a game you never play. But this comfort comes at a terrible price. It costs you all of your power. The moment you blame someone else, you have given them complete control over your life. As Dave Ramsey screams in his rant, this is not Russia. You can quit. You have the power to learn a new skill. You have the power to apply for a better job, to move to a new city, to say no to a purchase, to start a budget tonight. The system isn't what's holding you back. Your quiet, comfortable acceptance of your current situation is. Imagine a man who has been sitting in a prison cell for 10 years. He has become the world's leading expert on his own cage. He can tell you the exact composition of the mortar between the stones. He knows every crack in the ceiling. He has written a scathing manifesto on the moral failings of the guards. He spends his days complaining about the cold floor and the bad food. He is an intellectual genius when it comes to the subject of his own confinement. But in all of those 10 years, he has never once walked over to the heavy iron door, put his hand on the handle, and turned it. Because if he did, he would discover the most terrifying truth of all. It's been unlocked this entire time. The prison wasn't the walls around him. The prison was the belief that he was trapped. The unlocked door is your ability to change, and walking through it is the simple, terrifying act of taking responsibility. Let's talk about Kevin. He works at a big box retail store, and he is miserable under the hum of the fluorescent lights. His life is a monotonous loop of stocking shelves and complaining. He is the prison expert. He constantly talks about how the company doesn't pay enough and how corporate greed has stolen his future. He feels completely trapped, and he's comfortable in that feeling. One Tuesday afternoon, a former coworker, Mike, walks into the store. Mike quit a year ago to start a small pressure washing business. He doesn't just look happy, he carries himself differently. He has a confidence that Kevin lost years ago. He's wearing a polo shirt with the logo of his own company stitched on the chest. He's not just a guy who quit, he's a guy who is building. In that moment, as Kevin stands there in his company-issued vest, a hot flash of shame washes over him. It's followed by a flicker of envy and then a devastating clarity. He realizes the truth. While he was complaining about the prison, Mike had simply walked out the unlocked door. The opportunity was there for him too. He just chose to stay in the cell because complaining about the bars was easier than facing the uncertainty on the other side. The chains that are holding you back are not made of iron. They are made of your own excuses. You can spend the rest of your life studying those chains, polishing them, and complaining about their weight. Or you can stand up and realize they are an illusion and simply walk away. So there it is, the unfiltered truth. First, your opinion is worthless. Only results matter. Second, stop collecting information and start taking action. And third, you are not a victim, you are a volunteer. Listen, this isn't about looking down on people who are struggling. This is the opposite. This is a challenge. It's a wake-up call. The reason this message is so controversial is that it places all the power and all the responsibility squarely back in your hands. And that is a terrifying but incredibly powerful place to be. So let's take one step, a real one. I want you to think of one piece of financial advice you know is true, but you love to argue against. I know I should budget, but I know I should pay off that debt, but grab your phone, open the Notes app, and write down that excuse. Stare at it. That is your enemy. Now, delete it. And in its place, write down one tiny physical action you can take in the next hour to prove that excuse wrong. It's time to choose. Are you going to handle the truth, or are you going to click away?